That's right. It is the midweek Omega level nerds. D Square here with you, along with Vulsker, to give you a little bit of refuge in the middle of your week. Well, first of all, today, of course, is a very, very special day because it is our favorite overlord of Marvel Studios and the MCU. Happy birthday to Kevin Feige. That's right. Happy birthday, sir. You have brought our nerddom to the masses, brought the MCU to life, and showed us all what a quality comic universe can be when you have an overlord such as yourself directing all things. So, happy birthday, Kevin Feige.
And
all right.
Feige we trust.
And Feige we trust. That is right. And he turns 48 today. 48 years young.
He's the man.
All right. Now, on to our main topic. Very, very surprising news that just came down the pipe. It looks like Jupiter's Legacy is canceled. They have let go all the actors, but they have already ordered a spin-off series that is going to focus on a team of supervillains, which is funny because I was just saying on our past Omega Level Nerds podcast that we really seem to be entering in the era of the supervillain. And looks like that this Super Crooks series is maybe Netflix getting ahead of that trend. What do you think?
So this news is very shocking to me because
it's a good series, right?
Over.
Yeah.
It was good. I would put it on par to kind of like Umbrella Academy season 1, where it did a lot of world building, introducing the characters, and it left you wanting more at the end.
Right.
But just for them to put all this hype into this show, all the money, because some of these actors were top tier actors, like not necessarily what you would find in big budget films, but a lot of TV actors, things like that. Was it what's his name? Was it Josh Dremmel or whatever? He was in Transformers. And just to be like, oh, goodbye. I was like, wait a minute. I didn't even know who the hell this was, and I was like, all right, I can get with this. I want to see more. Like it really finally hit its peak near the end, and then for them to just cancel, not even cancel, just go, we're going to release you from your contracts.
Yeah.
No, just how we're canceling the fucking show. But then turn around and then go, but there's more. You guys, you go over here. We're not canceling the show. We're canceling you guys. We're going to then bring it to the villains who, I mean, it could be interesting, maybe make it a little bit more boyish where it's about the villains and people trying to stop them. But it makes no fucking sense. This was Netflix's kind of trump card along with Umbrella Academy to really start building, we don't need Marvel shows. We can make our own quality indie show, or shows based off of indie comics.
Yeah.
And then you get this. I mean, there's still Berserker coming out with Keanu Reeves, so I guess that's something to look forward to. But what the fuck? I don't get it. I question this decision wholeheartedly, and I wonder if somebody else is going to pick it up. Wouldn't it be crazy to see Amazon pick it up and then have The Boys and this?
Yeah. Have both of the franchises there. Yeah, very surprising. Now, I don't watch the show. I don't know. It just, doesn't really particularly look like anything that would capture my imagination per se. But, overall, pop culture seem to be consuming it quite well and enjoying it. And but yeah, then we hear about this. So, Yeah, strange indeed. And even stranger that, like you said, um, yeah, no, we're done. We're good. We're done. We're done. Go home. Thank you. Oh, no. We're not leaving the world or anything. We're going to get the supervillains now. So we're just going to fire all you. And then we're going to go ahead with the supervillains. That's just, that's cold.
It is, and by the sounds of it, it sounds like it's going to be some more like grounded theft type
Yeah.
supervillains. So we're not
Street
going to get the
level. Yeah.
like we're not going to get the major effects or anything like that. It's just going to be. I mean, I don't know. This decision just really.
Yeah. I wonder if we'll learn, I don't know, any sort of tidbits that could have maybe accelerated this, because, you're right. It does not make a whole lot of sense to
It
do
reminds
that.
me of Fox, like with Firefly and Family Guy. Like, oh, people love this shit. Nah, we ain't got room for it. We want this shit instead.
Yeah, that is funny. That was the case with Family Guy. Like, it was completely canceled. They, started playing the reruns on Adult Swim, and then
Yeah.
boom, they're like, oh, it caught fire, and they had to bring it back to major network television.
Wait, people really do love this. I mean, the numbers showed it, but we didn't believe it until people just started repeating and rewatching the what?
Yeah,
Why did we let this go? I mean, maybe
yeah.
your executives just need to put down the fucking weed and actually do their job.
Right. Yeah. Whatever hardcore drugs you're doing, just, give that a rest and realize what you got here.
Villains, we need villains. No, nobody wants heroes.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I'm telling you, that's the way things are going these days, man. Superheroes are like, boring now.
That's so fucking 50s. We're the new age now.
Yeah.
We're about supervillains killing people and robbing banks.
Right. All right. And then so our next story is, well, see, we actually thought we were going to get to debut this little midweek show here by talking about a new Spider-Man trailer. So it looks like that did not pan out. But Marvel did announce something really cool today, and that is that Donny Cates and Ryan Otley, they are going to be dealing with the Hulk. So, of course, Donny Cates writing that. They're going to explore the source of the Hulk's rage. So this is in November. The Hulk will return in an all-new ongoing series by acclaimed writer Donny Cates, and this is by Marvel.com, by the way. Known for his revolutionary work on Venom and Thor. Notice they didn't mention Absolute Carnage, and with good reason, but he did kill it with Venom and Thor, King in Black,
Yes.
all that shit. And superstar artist Ryan Otley of Amazing Spider-Man and Invincible. So we talk about another new, I don't know about new, but just another not Marvel DC superhero property that's catching fire. So this is an epic team. And so, yeah, per Donny Cates, Marvel just gave me the keys to the strongest one there is. Oh, boy. So you guys are just not ready for this. You're about to find out what happens when Ryan Otley and Donny Cates gets angry. And guess what? Well, pretty sure you're going to like us a lot when we're angry. So that's a cool quote there by Donny Cates. You can get your first glimpse at the store in this year's free comic book day. So you're going to get Avengers/Hulk #1, and that's going to be on October 14th in participating comic shops. So make sure that you stay tuned there. But yeah, Donny Cates on a Hulk. I had my fingers crossed for X-Men, so didn't get that. But pretty big for Donny Cates here. I mean, he's dealt with Thor, Venom, again Carnage, but that was more of a Venom story. I mean, he's getting the keys to all the heavy hitters here.
Yeah, it's really crazy because there was rumors, and I was at Comics R Go about a month or so ago, and there was rumors that he might be taking on the relaunch of Spider-Man, which I got super excited for. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
that can be some cool shit. This is definitely to me out of left field. Was not expecting him to go Hulk. I'll be curious to see what he does with it, but something even weirder to me is who's going to take up Venom now? He is off of it. So Venom is actually going to be Al Ewing, who's actually
Right.
just
Doing
doing the
Immortal.
Immortal Hulk. So they
Yeah.
like switched.
Right.
So that's going to be
Which,
interesting.
you know what though, that makes all the sense in the world because Al Ewing is killing it with the Immortal Hulk. Not something that I'm reading, but we've heard from multiple people,
Mhm.
particularly Eric at Comics Argo. Our comic shop has talked that title up. So it is pretty cool that you've got, okay, Donny Cates killing it with Venom and Thor, Al Ewing killing it with the Immortal Hulk, and then they're going to switch. So
Yeah.
at least we can expect, a maintaining of quality here, which is always nice.
Yep. Something we don't get with the X-Men comics anymore.
No, we
I
get
said it.
the we get it in little sprinkles. That's the tragedy there. Hickman's the Mutants versus Orcus stuff is awesome, but we don't get it a lot. I mean, out of the 20 X-Men titles, we maybe have dealt with that and gone back to really the story that House and Powers of X started. We've only had in maybe 4 issues or so. But again, not the case with what Cates was doing on Thor and Venom and what Al Ewing is doing in the Immortal Hulk. So I'm gonna grab that one. I think, to be honest with you, up until very recently, I collect X-Men comics and I collect X-Men comics exclusively. I really don't care who the writer is, although obviously I have my favorites, Claremont, Bryan, Josh Whedon. Um, Fuck, why does somebody that wrote such a good X-Men have to be an asshole? Anyway, and on my fucking top 3. Nonetheless, I'm gonna start following Cates.
Mm.
I think that's worth my time. My vitriol about absolute carnage aside,
What are you talking about? It was a great 30 issue run of
that
just ending in wait till next year.
right, right. It was yeah, it was the biggest, hugest, bloated setup. I don't want to say in the history of comics because it's happened before, but boy, oh boy. But I'm
Keep
going to
that
ignore
for the
that.
long game.
Right. Which I get. I get. At least we're getting that. At least we're getting that with Cates. We're getting some of the
Mm.
long game paid off. What Hickman is doing or possibly not doing anymore is just that's too that's long boring game and not just boring.
Remember this 30 issues ago? This is where it's at.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and move forward.
Yeah. Um but yeah, I'm gonna make sure and try and get that free comic book and go from there. So
Oh yeah, that's correct. The issue 1 is going to be the free comic book day, isn't it?
yep.
Cool.
And that free comic book day will be August 14th. So
You usually give some nice shit on. I know
well,
last year they
it's
gave quite a
free.
few.
Yeah, it's free comic book day. Avengers/Hulk 2021 #1. So looking at the cover here, it's Earth's Mightiest Heroes Avengers, also featuring Hulk. So it won't be
Interesting.
whatever, yeah, but that will be the start of it.
Nice. I wonder if they're doing just a comic book day this year, or if they're going to do a week again, or what? No, actually, they did like all August or some shit last year.
Right. Yeah, I remember that. I was told that worked pretty good, so we'll see. We'll see what they do. Our next story here on the midweek Omega Level Nerds is this is also something that we kind of touched base on a little bit in our last show. We touched upon God of War and God of War 2. And I even remember you, Vulsker, I think it was you that said, you know what, I think it's coming to PS5 only. Well, we've heard some bad news and some good news about God of War 2, Ragnarok. And so let's deal with the bad first. So Vulsker, delayed to 2022.
It sucks, but honestly, I didn't expect it to hit this year. I was hoping it would have been nice, but I think a lot of these delays are twofold. While they say it's for quality, and trust me, I am absolutely okay with them delaying it. It's only been what 2 years. That last remake from the ground up took what 4 or 5 years, I believe. Like,
Mm-hmm.
take your time because that game was fantastic.
Yeah.
But I also feel that a lot of it has to probably do with the fact that there are still so much shortages
Yeah.
that if they were doing PS5 only, now they need some extra time to probably go back and go, okay, how can we get it to run on the previous gen so we can get it into people's hands? Whether they want to admit that or not, I think that has a lot to do with it. Because let's look at Cyberpunk. It's the whole reason that the last couple delays was trying to get it to run on previous gen systems. Now, as much as I love CD Projekt Red, Sony's game studios are a lot higher tier when it comes to getting shit optimized. So I'm sure it will work, but it does worry me. Are we going to get the full idea? Are they going to have
Mm-hmm.
to cut shit? Or is it just going to be like, oh, it runs a little bit better on your $500 next gen system that really doesn't have that many exclusives because everything's cross platform now?
Right.
So we'll see, but I'm definitely excited for this title, and I cannot wait to see what happens.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you is, the fact that PlayStation 5s aren't really in stock. I mean, as we kind of learned during our last show, I mean, it's getting a little bit better. They're coming to be available online. You can't go to a store and pick one up. So I was
Just
going to
buy
ask you,
GameStop's $800 bundles.
yeah, yeah, they like that. They like to bundle that shit, and you got to pay it if you want it. But yeah, I was wondering if that would cause, them to consider that, seeing that if they were to release this game this year, how many people would actually get to play it if it was on the PS5 only? So,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the sale figures, but I think it's like 10 or 12 million, which that's not a whole lot when you have a
yeah.
game that the previous version, what I think sold close to 15, 20 million in like a year. Like, it was a huge seller right off the bat. So they wouldn't hit that. Now they have a caveat there where Sony is porting a lot of their top tier titles, as we discussed last show, to
Mm-hmm.
PC now. I have my hunches that it's probably to compete with Microsoft because they basically at this point, outside of Steam, Epic, like they own PC when it comes to cross platform because of Game Pass. Most of the games on one or on the other, so there's a lot of benefits there. And now Sony's bringing, Horizon. I can't remember what it was, but the zombie one that they had. Rumors are Uncharted 4. I'm sure God of War is going to eventually be next, and then
Mm-hmm.
so they're trying to open the door to more people. But just the fact that, yeah, the next gen systems being, so hard to find, I'm pretty sure that
Mm-hmm.
plays a huge part in it because if they don't hit their base PS4 fans, they're missing a huge amount of people at this point.
Yep. Yep. I mean, they say here in the article I'm looking at, IGN.com, that basically they are doing this, for quality's sake, because they are going to release Horizon Forbidden West. That is still gonna come this year. But they basically decided that both of these are going to be AAA titles. They want them to be of the utmost quality, so they're deciding to hang back a little bit. But again,
which is what I expect from them, because that's the
yeah,
whole reason I play PlayStation, is for their exclusives, because they are so fucking good.
yep.
So
Yeah, I mean, and it's the whole reason. I mean, I have a Switch. I mean, well, actually, I bought my Switch because I wanted to play and own Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. But outside of that, Nintendo first-party games are just fucking killer, and you can't play them anywhere else. So yeah, that's definitely something to consider. But I definitely think, as much as they're saying here, though, that it is a quality decision. Again, I do think it has more to do with the lack of availability in the next-gen systems. I just don't think they can say that. I don't think Sony wants them to say, well, there's not enough fucking systems out there, so why release the games? So they have to come up with some
I mean,
spin.
they could spin it and say, hey, based off of what's going on with the pandemic and all the shortages, we want to make sure all Sony fans have the ability to play. So we're not only making this for PS5, but we're also making it optimized for the PS4. So there will be they can spin it. That's the whole fucking context behind PR and, what they do. But there'll be a lot of butthurt people going, well, what about us people that bought on day one? We bought this count, give it to us, release it later. Exactly the same shit that they said with Cyberpunk. PC, you're a PC company. That's how you've always been. Like, the only systems you developed after that for Witcher 2 was Xbox because of your partnership. Then you eventually released on PS4 and Xbox One Witcher 3 because it sold so well and you could see you could develop. And then you come to Cyberpunk and it's like, well, optimization. Well, you said PC's done. You said next gen's done. Make everybody else wait. And I can see that same fucking argument coming up with like, push them down. Like,
yeah. Just push them. Just push them. Just push. All right. Well, I'm sure it'll be worth the wait, though. I'm sure it will be. Like, the God of War series is amazing.
Here, boy.
We're getting delayed to 2022, boy. Wonder if there'll still be a boy in Ragnarok. I mean, I know there's not supposed to be that much time disparity. How did you like the end of that game? Right, where it's like revealed he's Loki. Like, how did you?
I loved it. I thought it was cool. It was a good twist. I'm curious to see, like, does he actually have Loki's powers? Does he have any god powers? Because, I mean, he kind of got his ass kicked left and right throughout that game, like when he was trying to save his father and shit, like slapped around.
Yeah.
But no, I thought that was cool, and I thought that was an interesting way to bring in the other gods. Because let's face it, like we even talked about that, like he's dead. He disappeared at 3. How the fuck did he end up in a completely different universe of gods? Like, what? This makes sense. He found a way, he settled down, had a baby, and then, like, so they definitely do a good job at explaining shit like that. And so I'm really curious to see where this goes, because my expectations are we're going to get a whole nother group of gods, and some are going to be some off-the-wall shit.
Well, I think they're going to stick with the Norse gods, though, right? Because Thor was teased at the end of the last game. Spoiler alert. So.
Spoilers. Yeah, if you haven't played it by now, like, get the fucking playing, guys.
Yeah.
Shut the show down and go play it. Like.
Right. Exactly. Well, and that's what we're going to go ahead and do, because that's all the news so far that has come out this week. So I hope you enjoyed our first installment of the...
Wait, hold on. Breaking news. AMC is reporting that their stocks are on the rise, and they've offered free popcorn to all their stockholders to continue that rise.
All right, free popcorn. There we go. That'll save you a whole bunch of money. when you go to theaters. That's so funny because, I worked at like a popcorn stand. I mean, we sold pop and candy. Popcorn's so cheap to make. Like, movie theaters really fucking just rob you. But hey, now you go to AMC and you get you some free popcorn. All right. That's a pretty good hook though. Come watch movies, free popcorn.
Just keep buying, exchanging our stocks.
Right, yeah.
Save us from the brink of
popcorn's
of
free,
bankruptcy.
but that Diet Pepsi is going to be about $20, brah.
Oh Jesus! Which is even crazy because the pop's cheap. It's the cup that they always charge you for. It's like gas stations, 79 cents. Why the fuck can I go to Speedway and get a 44-ounce pop for 79 cents? I go to a movie, it's 24-ounce for like $5.
Yeah, I know because again, I kind of know a little something about that, but yeah, like a big big thing of pop like that's like 10 cents of pop. And in 20-cent cup. But
that's a high ass markup, guys.
Oh yeah, that's how they get you at restaurants, man. When they charge you like $3 now for a pop, for you to drink 50 cents worth of pop.
See, that's why I miss the old days going to like Denny's and Country Kitchen. You knew the server, your drinks were always free.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that. All right. Like I said, thank you for the, first installment of the midweek Omega Level Nerds. Make sure that you like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Let us know down in the comments, what do you think about Jupiter's Legacy being canceled? What do you think about Donny Cates on Thor? Or no, I'm sorry, on the Hulk. It's going to be on the Hulk. And what do you think?
Or Thor. I mean, were you a fan of his writing?
Yeah, exactly. Are you a fan? Have you read Thor? Did you see where Thor fought Galactus and killed him and made his head the chamber that holds the end of the Rainbow Bridge there? Tell us what you think. Outside of that, guys, very, very special guest is going to be on this week's Omega Level Nerds podcast, and so that streams on our YouTube between 9:30 and 10 o'clock every Sunday. So make sure you are there this Sunday when Rich Dueck, he graces us with his presence. We're going to talk about his Sea of Sorrow series that wrapped up not too long ago and has been critically acclaimed. Of course, he's the author of Wailing Blade. He has written for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in IDW. And then here on the 21st of June, Superman Red and Blue #4, which is an anthology type comic book, that's going to release. And of course, Rich Dueck is one of the contributing writers. So very, very excited to talk to Rich. He's been on the show before, and it'll just be great to catch up with him. So make sure that you are, subscribed. You got the notifications so that when we go live on Sunday night, you're there to catch all that nerdy goodness. All right, guys. Well, as always, we will see you later this week. Peace and love. And we will talk to you again soon.